They say they're on a really bad loss streak, and they don't know what to do. So let's see if we can figure it out. I believe this is a GM, and they need tips. So let's see. First of all, who's on your team? We have Angela, Penny. Penny, very strong front line, but not as much on control points. So we got to keep that in mind. And then we have Angela, and we're playing Spidey. So Angela can help us dive. So maybe we feed off of her, stuff like that. No, this is a Plat lobby. I peaked GM like 2 seasons ago. Okay, so this is Plat. GM was a couple seasons ago. We're trying to get back. Thanks for the correction. All right, now who's our other DPS? We have Moon Knight, who can help with the front, and he can kind of make up for some of the lack of damage numbers that Spidey can sometimes give. And then for supports, we have Invis and Rocket. Invis and Rocket. Rocket kind of can heal long range, but it's a bit inconsistent. Invis is only close range. So if we want healing as a Spider-Man, as a dive, we know we're stuck with health packs unless we go all the way back, not put ourselves in danger. Now, let's see. Okay, I don't mind this. Looking for a pick. Oh, let's go. Also, that was like the one character you really didn't want to pull. Unfortunate. Bro, what? Alright, I'm noticing a target priority problem right now. So, when you're playing Spidey, are you really going to get like any value out of like hurting a Penny? Like, probably not. Penny and Hulk, like these characters you're not going to do much to. So you need to pick the right character that you can actually do damage to, or get some of their cooldowns out, or pull them out of position, right? Now, maybe pull them into the team. That's fine, but you're not really at an angle to do that. Like if you were back here, right? Then you could swing by and then pull Penny into the team, right? So I don't mind that. You could also you can even pull from over here, right? Like if you're going to go for a super speedy pull, then you start back there. If you just want to do a regular pull, start from over here. So your positioning needs to match your plan, or your plan needs to match your positioning. Whichever one comes first is fine, but we can't like kind of force both ways. Also, if we're gonna pull a tank into our team also has to be ready to like follow up, right? So like even if you did pull this Penny, they're just gonna get like shot by the Penny and then they'll like walk back. Like there's no follow-up, right? I think I have no plan while playing. I always autopilot. Well, it looks like we've discovered something early. So Spidey is like definitely a character that you need to have a plan. It's really bad to autopilot. Okay, a little bit of mechanics work. I don't mind this. And we also learned some valuable information here, right? Like, you were back here for a good, like, 5 seconds. Nobody shot at you. The supports didn't peel to shoot at you. They played a little bit of patty cake. The Moon Knight started looking at you, okay? So that's good information. Let's see if we can use that. Okay, we're down a support. What are we going to do about it? Oh, a res. Let's go get some healing. Oh, not bad. Careful landing near those penny webs, for sure. Oh my. Alright, what's the plan here? Okay, I think I know what you're thinking here. Now you're like, alright, I want to make space, so I'm going to pull them back by trying to cap point. I think that's a fine plan, but I think the timing here is wrong. Because your team is not really in a position to push. Right now, they're 4v6, right? We have somebody in spawn and then a spider off. So I think you need to wait a little bit more before you try something like this. But a solid plan. Just make sure your team is ready to follow up, right? And then now, especially, now your Invis is dead again with no res. Now it's like, okay, I'm just going to get out. Timing is everything. Exactly. You almost get a kill, which is crazy. Now we're definitely overstaying our welcome. Uh-oh, we're in without any shift. We have no escape plan. Oh, we get bailed out. So yeah, timing is everything. We gotta have a plan. I think it's fine that you got some... Look at the value that you've gotten right now, right? Look at this cloak. She's used her bubble to help herself. And she's switching into cloak form. She's not healing the enemy. Or she's not healing her team, right? That is value. I'd say in this scenario, that's enough value. Let's just get out and regroup with our team, right? So like, we've gotten the value. Let's get out. Let's regroup. Because right now, again, your team is just not capable of following up. I panic a lot in games, so that's why I'm shaking. A lot of that comes from like not really having a plan and feeling like you have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. Like we just pointed out that like, hey, we got some value. We forced out some cooldowns. Let's just get out and take our win and be done. Right? I feel like you're playing... Also, with Spidey, your uptime actually needs to be really short. If you're playing a character like Star-Lord, Moon Knight, Magic, Hela, your uptime needs to be high. You need to be up in there. You need to be doing damage like constantly. Even Captain America, things like that. You need to have high uptime. With Spidey, you need to have like incredibly short engagements. Get your value, get in, get out. So like, let's see. Do we have an opportunity? Let's sit up here and let's wait for an opportunity. Oh, we just dive right in. So what I want you to do from now on is I want you to get in a position like this and then just look. I want you to take like 5 seconds, like really exaggerate it. Just look and just be like, okay, what teammates do I have? Okay, we're still kind of early, so probably not going to pull anybody in. Is anybody low? No, nobody's really low. Well, this cloak is kind of, you know, by herself. Maybe I pull her into the pit. Maybe I go for a combo here. Okay. Now my team's here. All right, now I'm going to go in and push, right? I feel if I stay standing, it's going to be a 5v6, so I would rather be a distraction. I think that is not really as much of a thing with Spidey because he's so fast. And it's okay for your team to fight a 5v6 for a couple of seconds. It's even worse here because this isn't even a 5v6. This is like a continuous fight. When you do these like continuous fights, you enable your team to continue like diving in and stagger a lot. So I'm guessing in a lot of your games, your teams are staggering. It's because they're like, oh, the fight's still going. Let's keep fighting. It's much better to wait and then pick the right opportunity than to just rush it. Okay, that's fine. We got it. Oh. Unfortunate. So we can talk about ults now if we want to. So we kind of rush. With Spidey's ult, it is really powerful, but it's also really easily counterable. So you got to think of like, okay, what can counter my ult? First, you have soft counters that just make it to where you don't get as much value. So like Cloak Fade, Rocket just jumping away, stuff like that. And then you got to think about stuff that actually like shuts you down. So like Hulk Exile, it just cancels your ult. Penny's Web just cancels your ult. And then enemy support ults, they cancel your ult. So what we learned earlier from your previous dives is if you pressure the cloak, there's a chance she might use some of her cooldowns. So then I start thinking like, okay, now I have this information. Maybe I pressure the cloak out and to get her to force that fade, then I can ult. And then you just take it step by step. But I feel like we just rush. We're just rushing everything. And then we get punished for it. Alright, now we're on Psylocke. A lot of the same rules apply for Psylocke, but she's a bit more slow. So you have to be more careful with your positioning and like pre-position better. Just do damage, help your Moon Knight. Dash through, get out of the way. I don't mind any of this. You're like getting your ult charged. Psylocke's ult is broken, so just get that.
This is real firepower. The moon haunts you.
I'll help your team. Good. I like that we changed. Good. A little bit of mechanics work. Okay, how much awareness do we have? And... Alright, so a couple things here. We gotta know, like, first things, there's 90, we're at 93%. And then we have a chance right here to look around and be like, okay, who's nearby? Nobody really who can touch the point. It falls to me. I have to touch the point and give my team a chance. So that's a bit of awareness, like knowing, okay, keep an eye on the timer. I feel like you spent most of this fight just like shooting tanks. So when you approach target priority, what you want to do is try to find what, if I'm doing damage to something or someone, what is going to give my team the most value out of that amount of damage. So when you're shooting like a Penny, that's not bad because she's low. But in most scenarios, like if you're shooting a tank, Psylocke doesn't do too much damage to a tank. She's not really that much of a threat. You do that same amount of damage to a squishy like Rocket, Moon Knight, any of these guys, it's gonna go a longer way. The other thing is, if you do that same amount of damage to this Penny Nest, it's gone, and now you guys have this space that before was like, it was taken up, right? Wait, I think I do recently. I just charge ult through tanks and ult backline. That's not terrible. That's okay, but you gotta think also, while you're doing that, you're missing out on other value, and you're giving the enemy team value. So if you sit there and you pump the enemy tanks with your damage to get your ult, right? They're not dying, right? Why are they not dying? It's because they're getting healing. If they're getting healing, what are the enemy supports getting? They'll also get their support ults. If that's a willing trade for you, sure, but I think it's better, especially as you get better aim, to do a little bit of both. It kind of becomes a case of like, who can you shoot, right? If your aim's not good enough, like just shoot the tank, sure. If your position's such to where you can only shoot the tank, like let's just say you're back here, then shoot the tank, and then you walk forward. Okay, now I have other options, right? Does that make sense? We gotta. I love that you're shooting the rocket ult, by the way. Like that's great. Perfect. I love that we're trying to help with Star-Lord ult. And then yeah, we gotta know it's time. We gotta contest point. It's cool that we almost killed this cloak, but we gotta be on point. All right, next point. Let's see what we do. How do we do it differently? I want a close range off angle if I'm playing Psylocke. A medium to close range off angle. Right now we're playing main. I want you to be over here, close range off angle. You can be in here, close range off angle. Down here, close range off angle. You can go all the way around, close range flank. That's the positioning. Oh yes, I never do that. It's so good as Psylocke. It's so good as Psylocke. I don't mind this ult. I think that's a perfectly fine ult. Her ult's crazy. You can kind of just use it when you get it. Good stuff. So do you understand? I usually go pretty in depth because I don't normally have the person in here that I'm like coaching. Do you understand why close range off angles are really good? Nice, we popped the nest. Good. I don't mind this because the pennies push so far up. Yes, but I think I'm gonna explode if I'm too close. So Psylocke has really good escapability, survivability. That's the word. She has really good survivability, and what you want to do. especially because you're not comfortable with it, what I want you to do is I want you to play a lot of quick play, play a lot of comp, and get as close as possible. And I want you to die. I want you to die over and over and over. And every time you die, I want you to be like, okay, that was probably too far and I had no escape, right? I want you to be actively thinking, did I die there because I mismanaged my cooldowns? Did I die there because it was too far? Did I die there because I didn't have an escape route? And then that process of learning is going to help you so much. And then you'll feel comfortable because you've been in this situation before and you know that you haven't died, right? And I want you actively paying attention to that. And then when you close range off angle, the things that you have to keep... Remember, there's no screaming like a lunatic. Nice. Welcome back, Jake. I'm actually lost whenever I play. It's autopilot. So whenever you know that you autopilot, it's actually like it becomes a different game now. It doesn't become a video game. Now it becomes a psychology game, right? It doesn't matter if you know what you should be doing if you're not consciously making the decisions. So what you need to be doing now is I would play like one quick play game. I'd play one quick play game. And then at the end of the game, I would stop and I would go back and either watch it or I would think about what I did during that game. Because we need to pull it from the subconscious, like autopilot. We need to pull it back into the prefrontal cortex, or we need to pull it back into I'm actively constantly thinking about it. And we need to play one game at a time and think about it. One game at a time and think about it. Then once we do that for a while, then we try to push in and then shorten it down to one engagement, right? We play one engagement, right? So like over here. Let's go back. So we ulted, right? We ulted, we won the fight. I want you to just stop shooting. And we can do this in quick play, so you're not like throwing. I want you to stop shooting. I want you to go to a safe spot, and I want you to sit here, and I want you to think. What happened? Where was I? And how did it go? Right? Every single engagement, I want you to do it like that. And what's this going to do? It's going to train your brain to be thinking again instead of just autopiloting. And then I really want to stress, like, don't go spam a ton of games. Don't go on the weekend or like at night and play like 15 games in a row. I want you to like really cut it down, and the games that you do play, be very conscious of. That's exactly what I do. You just spam games, right? Like it's, yeah, we have to go one engagement at a time, sit there, because I can give you as many tips as I want. Like, oh, in this situation, you should have done this. In this situation, like, this was bad, right? But none of it's going to matter if we're not actually thinking and implementing the strategy. We have to cut out the bad habit of autopiloting before we push forward, right? I just spammed 20 games after midnight. Yeah, I do that sometimes too, and then like I have to go back and be like, okay, this is not working. I have to reset. And like I promise you, you can even do something like at one point I was doing where I would play one game and then win or loss, it didn't matter. I literally got up from my desk, I went out back, and I sat in the dark and the quiet with like some water for like 10 minutes. I promise you, like that 10 minutes will be so much better for your gameplay, for your ranked, than playing 20 more games after. I promise you. I did. I literally did. And it was actually really nice. It's because I'm sitting outside. It was nice and cool. It was summertime. It was nice and quiet. I got to look at the stars, stuff like that. It was great. And it's so good for your mental health. And then like you take a step back from the game of like, you know, you're hearing all these ults going off and all this yelling and these sound effects and flashing lights. And take a step back and then like your brain takes control of it again, right? That is going to be like the number one thing. So like I'm not sure how much of this like we should even watch, because now that we know the problem, that's going to be the thing. The only break I get from rivals is when I'm locked up in the rubber room with them. Nice, you got out when it was hairy. We got back to our supports. Good stuff. I think you're playing fine. I think we just got to be a little more conscious. Oh, nice shot. Like, if I'm looking at it, you definitely have skill. For sure. Like, your aim with Psylocke's better than my aim on Psylocke, for sure. We just gotta be conscious about the decisions we're making. And I think you'll be fine. Also, don't worry about, like, oh, I made it to GM, but it was a long time ago. I feel like I got boosted. Like, don't even worry about that. Don't worry about rank at all. Just worry about, like, what you can control. The wins and losses, they'll come and go. Just worry about, like, my mistakes. What am I thinking? What am I doing? And you'll be fine. Oh, nice ult. Good stuff. All right, get out. Get out. I don't care if your Punisher dies. Just get out. You play your game. Nice. You guys are just crushing now. Okay, so once I do notice something, if you want to practice. Once we switch from vertical aim to horizontal, I feel like we have a bit of a problem. So if you want, you can go in practice range to the range down under, and you can set up flyers, and I just practice that every once in a while, like 5 minutes every other day or something, and that'll help a lot with that. Okay, now we're brawling a bit too much. We're not pulling attention away. We were over here. Pull the attention away. Because if you're over here, you're making this Thor turn around. You're making these guys look at you instead of the team. I also don't warm up. I should start too. It's very good for you. Unrelated, I'm going to see that FNAF movie tonight. Oh my. We don't have a tank. I understand that, but that's not your responsibility. If you don't have a tank, that's fine, but even if you're over here and you don't have a tank, you're still pulling their attention away, right? Go beat up Luna Snow in training. Yep, that's what I do. It helps so much. Alright, target priority. Let's shoot Ultron. Ultron's going to be the easiest to kill. There he is. You got him. There we go. Good. Nice. Now Invis next. Rocket already ulted. She has hers. Good. Yes, up close, off angle. Good. Don't rush your ult. Let's wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Oh, there's no follow-up. This whole enemy team can turn around and play patty cake with no, like, no trade-off. If we just wait. We wait like 10 more seconds for our team to push forward. I mean, I thought maybe make a support ult pop. That's fine. I like it ends up working, but which is fine. And I like the idea, but it will go even farther. There will be more pressure if you just wait a little bit longer. I like the idea, it's just timing that's wrong. Good idea, a little bit of waiting. Hello, team? Capture point, please. Thank you. Good lord. Close range and off angle. Good. Okay, now we're too close to the front. See, now they can all turn and look at you. I like that you got out the second you got pressure. Oh yes, this is so good. Okay, now we can shoot somebody else. Oh, there's a Luna down here. Good. Oh, you saw her. Good. Now this rocket has to do something else. Great. Okay, your team's ulting. Go join. Oh, they double support ulted. They triple ulted. This is so good for you. Now I'm just like, okay, you're not going to kill anything. Just spam tanks. Spam tanks, get your ult. There he is. Get your ult. Let's go. We took too long. Fight's over. Do you know anything about Hawkeye? I feel like I died too much and I'm not sure if it's my gameplay or if I should play another hero. I can take a look at it. I won't be able to help too much with micro on Hawkeye, but I can help with macro positioning and things like that for sure. Isn't he mostly a position dependent like Adam? Absolutely. Aim needs a lot of work. It's actually not horrible aim, to be honest. This is not bad for Psylocke. Psylocke's a very difficult character to aim with, but it does help if you go to that practice range. By the way, Sizer, do you know how to use the practice range? Because we can jump over there real quick. It helps a ton. Okay, we're down to... There's a risky ult. But you get out a support ult and kill a support. Could work. There are a lot of DPS players today. Where? Close range off angle. Close range off angle. Oh, get him. Oh, nice try. Yeah, we can feel the panic setting in. I feel like whenever the fights start to go longer and longer, you get stressed. And again, taking those breaks and not playing 20 games in a row, like that will cut those out. For sure. I rage quit a lot. Yeah, but again, I'm going to hammer the point down though. Like, your gameplay is actually fine. Like, I feel like you have skills to be, you know, high level. You're making good plays. You actually have some pretty good ideas sometimes. Much better on Psylocke than Spiderman. We gotta change it from a what do I do in game to what do I do in my brain, and then we'll be good. And that's part of learning these competitive games.
Your weapons are inelegant, Frank, but effective. I have destroyed a troublesome arc.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Unfortunate. Starting tilted is usually already 50% of the deciding factor, for sure. If you want to work on... So a lot of what we talked about is working about, like, not panicking and stuff like that. But if we really want to talk specifically about, like, rage queuing, I would... This is a bit of a weird thing, but I would actually say go play Dark Souls. Go play Dark Souls. Go play, like, an insanely difficult game. And know, like, it's not the game's fault. It's you. And bash your head against that wall. Yeah, I think my positioning is definitely what I struggle with. I'm at work right now, but when I get home, I send a game VOD. What kind of game are you looking for? So the best VODs to review are a competitive loss. That's the best thing we can do to review. It doesn't matter if it's a complete stomp or not, as long as it's a competitive stomp, a competitive loss. That's what it is. You can go to my Discord, you can go to the Rivals College subreddit and submit it there, or the Rivals College subreddit's Discord. They all have sections for VOD review requests. Blame this stream for not giving me the win. Accurate. Alright, if we want to talk about like what we did wrong here, we use... I know it's overtime and we're trying to get the point quickly, but if you look right here, the overtime, it's not going down. It's going down, but then it stops. So just take a second to look and see, oh, we have somebody on point already, so I don't have to rush to touch point. Let me just wait and be patient. And then I still have a dash. Now I walk down and I have things to do. But, yeah. Of course, looking forward to it. I'm almost done streaming for today, so I'll have to check it out tomorrow. But yeah, this is all, as far as this VOD though, this is all mental game. Stop playing the game and bring it back to your head, right? Let's take breaks, don't rage queue. We do one engagement at a time and we think about it, all right? So anyway, hope this helps. And for everybody else on YouTube, that's going to do it. So take care, God bless. And I'll catch you next one. Bye!